Hey, what's up, ladies and gentlemen? How's it going? It's Dan here from Cryo Noir. How are we all doing, my internet friends of text and avatar? How's it going? So what we're going to do here, this is just a Gimp tutorial. This is not going to be an art tutorial. Let's make this perfectly clear. The scope of this video is Gimp, learning how to do Gimp and messing around with Gimp. And by no means is this an art tutorial, how to get good at pixel art tutorial. And you can tell that because this is what we're going to make. Isn't it wonderful? As you can see, it's a bit of a hodgepodge. It's pretty terrible, but that's not the point. The point is getting used to Gimp, learning what it can do. It's a very, very good piece of software, particularly considering it's free. And you can do all sorts of really cool stuff with it. I use it to make all my thumbnails. I use it to make most of my pixel art. I just think it's a really cool piece of kit. I've also used it to splice my friends' heads into pornography, just because it's fun. So anyway, with that in mind, let's crack on. First of all, you need to go to an internet browsings tool. Wrong thing. An internet browsings tool, and you need to type in the www.gimp.org. Or you can type that into Google or whatever your poison is, and download the appropriate one. We're currently at 2.8.20. I don't even know if that's what I'm using, but that's the latest version. So get that downloaded, and we'll crack on. So when you get it, you should be confronted by this. This is the basic interface, and there we go. So you've got all your tools and all that kind of groovy stuff over here. We will be covering that as we go along. And these little windows are other windows that I find particularly helpful and like to have on my person. So we have layers. Layers is the most important thing, and you'll see what we do with those as we go on. But I'll get onto that. I have the palette editor. I find that very, very handy. I don't generally start making my own palettes and stuff, messing around. It's just handy to see them all, and you can have access to them all there. And there's absolutely loads. If you want, you can select any colour you want. But meow. Sorry, I don't know if you heard. That's my cat. One of them. So, and then another one is the navigation tool, and this just gives you a picture of what your actual picture looks like. So, if you're missing any of these, you can go up to Windows here, where it says Dockable Dialogues. Who knows why? You'll find lots and lots of them here. So we have, we've got the navigation one there, and then we've got the palette tool. That should be in there somewhere. Where are we? Palettes. It's probably that one. I don't know. So anyway, we've got that, and then those layers there as well. So these are all very helpful things to have. And again, if you want, just muck about a pointer. Yeah, if you want to, do it without having a cursor, you can do, I guess. So anyway, and if you ever lose any, once you've got something up and then you close it by mistake, because you can just click these X's and they'll go away, and you kind of go, oh crap, I needed that. Go back up to recently closed docs, and you'll see them in there. So I've got, yeah, you can see I've obviously closed palettes on numerous occasions recently, just by mistake. This is the main picture-y bit. So what we're going to do is we're going to go File, and then we're going to go New, and this will be a new image here. And okay, I always work in pixels. You've got all sorts of different templates here for like sort of A4 and all that kind of stuff, and B5 for Japan and other interesting things. Hello, requires restart. What does? No, go away. So anyway. So you've got all these interesting and groovy things, and we'll just get rid of that. And yeah, so we're going to start a new thing. Again, you can change it to pixels, inches, feet, and yards. So you can go right the way to doing huge pictures if you wanted, and if you have a printer that wants to do that sort of stuff. So anyway, we'll set it to px for pixels, and because everyone works in 16 by 9 nowadays, we're going to go 640 by 360. Again, pick your poison. If you want to do something slightly different, you can do, if you just want to be different. So you click OK, and then we get this window here. Ooh, and this is a window for drawing in. Don't worry about this not keeping up. I think that's possibly because I've got a few things running in the background as well, which is making it, run a little bit ropey. Well, I haven't got him. Anyway, beside the point. Alright, okay, so the very first thing we're going to do is we are going to open a new layer. So I've got new layer. So, sorry, I'll just probably make that a little bit more straightforward. What you're doing is you are right-clicking there, and then going new layer. And we are going to call this one grass. And it will automatically fill it in the same size as your canvas, okay? And you set it transparent. It's always handy. Grass. Right, okay. Next step. We're going to select the pencil tool. Now, everything in pixel art is always done with the pencil tool. Well, when I say always, mostly always done with the pencil tool. So I hit the pencil and come over here. And this is your brush editor. And if you're missing that, you can click there and tool options and is it tool options? Add tab, sorry, tool options. There we go. Fairly straightforward. And click in this fuzzy little circly thing and then click that one. Okay, now this is a hard edge. Now these are all the other things you can do. I have done that. I'm not entirely sure why there is. Let me know in the comments below if you also have a green pepper. I'm not sure if that's something at some point I've done or what, but I have a green pepper there, and you can use a star and all that. I generally only ever use this one here and that one there, and sometimes that one there. If I'm wanting to do anything else, if I'm wanting like soft edges and things like that, I generally don't use the pencil tool, but we will get onto that later. So select hard edge circle, and we're going to make this smaller. Let's see what that's like. No, 2, I think. 2? Yeah, 2's fine. Okay, so I've just completely messed up our canvas now. What a stupid thing to do. So what we're going to do is you're going to hold Control, and just as you do with everything, just about every other package out there, hold down Control and press Z or Z if you're American, and again and again, and it's all gone. Magic Morris. So next thing we're going to do, we're going to grab this. Now this is what's called the stroke tool. And what the stroke tool does is well, I'll show you. So what we're going to do is we're going to left click, I think about there. So we're going to left click here, and then we're going to left click here. That's that. Fairly straightforward. Click once there, click once there, and you end up with this. Now what we're going to do is somewhere in the middle, you're going to click and hold using again the left clicker, and if we do that, we get this sort of thing, and it creates interesting shapes. So we're going to get an interesting shape like that, which I'm fairly happy with that. And then what we're going to do is we're going to click. We are going to correct stroke path. Okay, and you get loads of little options here for stroking your path. And what we're going to do is we're going to go stroke with paint tool, and we're going to select pencil. And because we've already set that up to be sort of two pixels or whatever, it will stroke whatever that's set up. This is something that you need to bear in mind. The amount of times I've done stroke pencil, and it's just gone like a great big black line across the thing, and you're like, oh yeah, I've not set it up, or I was doing something differently. So just be aware of that. And then you click stroke, and boom, we have a stroken line. Now, I'm not entirely sure how to get rid of this. I'm sure there is a very smart way to do it, but what I always just do is click pencil and then click there and back again. I'm sure there is probably a better way to do this. I don't doubt it's somebody else saying, oh, it's so simple, just do that. But that's how I do it, so that's how you're going to learn to do it as well. So again, left and left, and then grab it in the middle, and boom. I think about there. Yeah, why not? And stroke path, and because we've already done this, it will save those settings, and then we're going to do it again and again. You see, I have a feeling, is it going to try and mess with us? No, it's not. Okay, now I'm not happy with that one little bit, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab this thing here. Oh no, and it's all going to go haywire. There we go. I'm going to grab that and do it like that. Move that over here, And in fact, actually, I think I'm going to try and again, I'm just playing around here and just doing that. There we go. There we go. I'm sort of happy with that. I don't know what these are for, but anyway, we'll stroke that path. And kapow. And there we go. And clear it all off. Get the pencil. Happy days. Back to there. And I think we're going to... Yeah, we're going to need some more, aren't we? So boom, and a boom, and a boom. I think we're going to go like that. I think we need... yeah, that should look okay like that. Stroke path. Crack. And then we're going to do the same over here as well. Bang, and I think bang. And then we... Okay, that was an utter fail. So we're going to get rid of that. I think actually we'll like that. There we go. About yeah, about sort of there, I think. Something like that. Stroke path. And again, as I said, we are not making a piece of art here. We are making Gimp. You can make pieces of art using Gimp. You know, don't let anyone tell you that you can't, and that you should definitely be using something else. You can do lots of very, very cool things with Gimp. But as I've said, this is not really that kind of tutorial. This is more, let's have fun with Gimp. So, and we're going to stroke that path as well. Okay, so we now have lots and lots of crappy squiggles. So we're going to tidy some of these up. And we're going to grab the erase tool, which is the orange cube here. Or pink, or whatever colour it is. I don't know, colourblind. So yeah. So just before you do start, anyone does start getting antsy, just be aware you're taking an art class from someone who's colourblind. So we're going to zoom in here. I don't know if I've told you this yet. Okay, hold Control and then scroll, and you get the zoomy zoom. If you don't have a scrolly on your mouse, you can use that. But it just makes it a little bit harder. And again, you can use that as well, and then grab it and move it around here. But I find that just I want to go there and then zoom, and then that's very handy. So we're going to go here, and I'm going to get rid of that one definitely. Boop. And that one definitely. Boop. Boop. And there we go. And so then I'm going to definitely get rid of that one. And there we go. And again, I'm just left clicking with these. Just left clicking. Here we go. And we have like some things like that. And I think we're probably... Are we best getting rid of? What are we going to get rid of here? Yeah, we'll get rid of that. There we go. And that. And definitely get rid of this. And there we go. And what else should we get rid of? I think we could probably get rid of that. We certainly need to get rid of this here. And what about that? If we get rid of that, what are we going to be left with? Yeah, maybe. Okay, we'll try that. Yeah, let's get rid of that. Right, okay. So now we have the rolling hills of Yorkshire. Isn't that marvellous? Everybody. So now we need to give these some colour. So we're going to go over to our pattern thing, whatever it's called, palette editor. And this is all a big long list of palettes. Again, if you're missing it, it's in here somewhere. Add tab, and it will be palettes. I'm going to go with palettes. It'll be that one. So come down into here, and we're going to select green. And then thanks to this lovely palette editor over here, we have a big long list of greens. So what we're going to do is we're going to pick a green, and then we're going to use this little doohickey here to fill all the bits in. Now, just one quick point. Although this does look like an MS Paint kind of thing here, actually, these here are obviously our different layers. Now, this grass layer is on top of the background layer. We can hide the background layer, and boom, we have an alpha. All that is on this layer is that, just those. If we were to try and export that, we could export it as a, I believe it's a PNG. No, is it PNG? Yeah, PNG. I'm going to go with. And that would literally just be those lines. That's all it would be on there. Nothing else. So this is why it's very useful for game design, so that you don't end up with like your animations just being a white square being animated inside it. If you know what I mean, it's just the sprite itself. Again, if you're coming to me for this advice, you've come to the wrong place. You should, yeah, this, yeah. I mean, obviously, if you didn't know that, then that's fine. That's good. But there are smart people out there than me. So here we go. Let's pick our green. We're going to pick that green there, and we're going to do this one, that green there. Lovely. And then we're going to do this one, that green there, and then this one, a more different green there. I think a darker green for that one. Yep. And then we're going to have an even more darker green here for that one, and then a slightly lighter green one for there, and then a different green one for there. Yeah, the rolling hills of Yorkshire. This is just like where I live. So now what we're going to do, see, I'm not happy about most of this, so I think I might change some of that in a bit. I don't know. We will see. So, next of all, there we go. We have the lovely rolling hills of Yorkshire. Marvellous. Now we're going to draw a lovely house. A lovely, lovely house. I think we're going to have it over here, I think. But anyway, so, new layer. And where this one is going to be called House. Okay. And, okay, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to draw our house. And to draw the house, we're going to make lots and lots and lots of layers. And then we're going to make one big layer out of those for the house. Right, now this here is the select tool, and it makes a big square or a small square, whatever you want. Okay, so unlike things like MS Paint, generally you do that and it would just fill that in with whatever colour you wanted or whatever it was doing. This, it just selects something, so we don't need this. Say for instance you did it and you're like, oh, I quite like the shape of that, but it needs to be a little bit narrower. If you go to the edge, it'll turn into these weird little squares. Okay, if you do that, it will only increase by that angle, by that section in all directions. If you grab it there, it will only go in or out. It won't go up or down. No matter what you do, it will only go in or out. And the same with this one. Doesn't matter what you do, I could go all the way off over here and it will just keep jumping up and down like that. So we're going to make this quite a bit more tiny. Quite a bit more tiny for a house. Quite a bit more. Actually, I don't know why we're going to do this. This is going to look utterly terrible. Because the hills are going to... The perspective's going to be all wrong here. We're going to have a much bigger house. This is a giant house on top of small hills. So we might have to redo the hills at some point. I don't know. Fuck it. So... we're going to have a terribly large house. Right, okay, so this is the house. So the first thing we're going to do with this is we're just going to... How are we going to do this? Okay, we'll do it this way. Right. Get a colour. Now, what we're going to have, what I'm going to use here, I'm going to use a red brick kind of colour. So what we're going to do is, and this is a really possibly a terrible way of doing this, but this is the way I'm going to do it, just to show you the different techniques of how you can do it. So we're going to get a kind of a earthy red bricky kind of colour, maybe that one, yeah, something like that. See what that looks like. And again, we're going to grab that, and you can see we now have the movie dotty square. And if we click in there, that's all that will get filled in. Okay, that's sort of a red brick colour. Okay, so now what we're going to do, we're going to get in nice and small. And again, how are we going to do this? Let's think. Actually, we should have done it differently. Never mind. Ignore me. I don't know what I'm doing. Actually, yeah, what we'll do is we're going to get a mortar colour. Yep, a more different colour than that. So we're going to get kind of a lighter, kind of a grey colour. Or, yeah, a beigey. Let's go with a grey like that. Eesh. Pretty. And then we're going to fill it in grey. Right, there we go. Now what we're going to do is we're going to get the mortar tool again, this again. And then we're going to draw another square inside of this square. And we're going to go about, yeah, big. Yeah, that's probably about right. Yeah, something like that. Maybe a little bit bigger. And a little bit bigger. We're going to go a little bit bigger? No? No. Okay, we're going to fludge it. So again, we're just going to draw. So that's about a brick size. Ish. I think probably There we go. And if we grab this here, we can now move this where we want it to. Right. You will find Control Z Control Z and Control Z you use an awful lot. So we're going to go boom like that. Get that. Now what happened there is I grabbed this and didn't actually look at the tools that were associated with it. So we're going to go into here, and you see it says pick a layer or a guide. We don't want that. We want move active layer. In fact, actually no. Do we? We want move selection. We'll try and move active layer. Is that the right one? No. Okay. Oh, because we're still on the same layer, aren't we? Of course. Get ZZ. Right, let's just get back to where we were. See, this is the thing of not paying attention and talking while you're not. Okay, so what we're going to do, we're going to create a new layer. Because you can create hundreds, and we're going to call this one bricks. Cracking. I'm going to end up mastering this down anyway at some point. So here we go. Now we're going to go, brick would be about that big. And now what we can do, we can go there and then pick active layer, and it should just move that. But it won't do. Okay, right, so we need to get this roughly where we want. Oh, I know what I'm doing wrong. Sorry about this. This is me talking and not thinking about what I'm doing. I would never try and do it like this normally. There we go. Right, okay. So now we're just going to colour it in. We're going to colour this square in. So we go back to here. We've got the painty tool. And we've gone back here. And we're going to go to fire code. In fact, actually, should we try that? Oh, some of them are nice sort of bricky kind of colours. Almost, I guess. Yeah, that's that. Somewhere around here. Yeah, we'll try that one. Yeah. Why not? You pick whatever colour makes you happy. Right, okay, and again. And this is the thing what I was saying about cutting and putting back, and then that allows you to move it. Right, so we're going to go X to get rid of that, and then we're going to go Control V to bring it back. And now, if we use that, we should theoretically, there we go, we can move our brick wherever we want it. And we're going to move our brick to there. Now, because we have cut it out, we did Control X and then Control V. We now, if we go Control V again, boom, we now have 2 bricks. How we can go Control E, and then we have 3 bricks, and Control V, and we can have 4 bricks. We're not going to go crazy with this. We can go Control V, and we can have 5 bricks. And what we're going to do with this one is we're going to stagger it over the edge here somewhere, like that. Yeah, that's probably about right. And that's about middle. And then we're going to go boom again, Control V again, and we're just going to do this so we have a nice brick type thing going on here. Isn't it wonderful? And we want it sort of so that they will overlap quite nicely. Okay? So don't panic that they don't look bad. Right now, we are kind of stuck with this. Just hope it happening there. Just sort of like that. And we can't really do much at all. So you see here, it says floating selection, pasted layer, something of that nature. And what that means is you are now currently dealing with just this floaty layer. That's it. These things that we've created before, which are now on the bricks layer, we're not dealing with them. We are now just dealing with this, and we need to make sure that this is now a part of the rest of the bricks. So we will right click on there, okay, and you go down to anchor layer. So click anchor layer, boom. And now that is part of the bricks, okay? You will find that sometimes you'll go to do something and it's not working at all. It's generally because you've selected something and you're now trying to work outside of that selected area. Like, for instance, if I do a selection here and then I get a pencil and that, yes, we've got this thing, and I start colouring, nothing happens. But then if I go, okay, because I'm trying to work outside of the selected area, okay? So that's often a very common thing. Now, if you've done that and now suddenly you've got a big square, don't worry about it. Hold Control and Z and it's gone. Control Z, Control Z, whatever's your poison. So you often end up, doing things like that, which is a bit annoying. So all you have to do, select, and you'll see select none. That just gets you back to nothing going on. So now we're going to make these bricks look a little more brick-like. So what we're going to do is we're going to go back to our pencil tool option. So click pencil and then click there. And we're going to make this definitely a little more smaller. And now what we're going to do is we're going to click on here. Okay, so that's your top colour. And we're just going to click on there. And we're just going to make this a little bit lighter, methinks. Just a little bit lighter, which we would do via... I don't know, I think we'll just grab it and take it down a little bit. Now you can see, it's sort of showing you, I think we want a little more... It needs to be lighter, but I think, yeah, something like that. Something around there, a nice sort of pinky terrible colour. Salmon mousse kind of colour. And there we go. Now what we're going to do... Oh, that's going to be... These bricks are too small. God damn it. Okay, we're going to do it anyway. I don't care. So we're going to... We're just going to cover the edge of them like this. These bricks are absolutely tiny. They're like 4 pixels tall. This is a problem with working... Oops. This is a problem with working on tiny little scales. You have to make sure that you're really paying attention as to what you're doing, because you'll look at something on screen and go, oh, that's about right, and then when you actually come to work on it, you realise it's tiny and nobody can see it anywhere. So we're now going to get a darker colour, maybe about there, and I think we're going to just do that. Okay. Generally, this would look a little bit better because the bricks would not be quite so. In fact, actually, I think I'm going to do that. Yeah, I think we'll do that. Okay. So these bricks would generally be a little bit, you know, bigger, or certainly more even, so that this shadow and light effect that we're putting on them wouldn't take up all of the goddamn brick. Oops. Oh, doesn't matter. There we go. Right. So if we control zoom, what do they look like? Yeah, they kind of look like bricks. Not brilliant, but they kind of look like bricks. Kind of look overly rather than... okay, yeah. That's what bricks look like in the UK for all you Americans. So now what we're going to do is we're going to select these lovely motherfucking bricks. Again, we're going to Control X. Let's get rid of them. And then Control V for Victor. And then that gets us another set like that. And then we're going to Control V again. And boom, we have more brickage. Okay, and then we're going to Control V again, and more brickage, and Control V again, and more brickage, Control V again, and again, what do we have? More brickage, and more brickage. So there we go, so now we have lots and lots of bricks there. Now what we're going to do, I'm going to anchor that there, boom, and then we're going to select all of them bricks, all them bricks, and we're going to Control X. And we are going to grab that. No. Yeah, grab the doofery, the movery, and we are going to Control V. And using that, we are also then going to Control and scroll to zoom in. And now what we're going to do is we're going to Control V again, and this time, wait, look at all them bricks, and Control V again, and oh, even more bricks, and Control, and keep doing that until you've filled up your wall. And in fact, actually, we could probably save a lot of time by doing maybe 2 or 3. If you're doing a bigger picture, you can save time by doing 2 or 3, you know, heights, and then, you know, copy and cutting and pasting that again, and keep working your way through there, and you will end up with loads and loads of bricks. And I think we're getting about there. Lovely stuff. And you'll notice that that has gone awry there, so we'll get rid of that. So I'll Control Z and Control... In fact, actually, can I move that now? Yeah, I can, right? Oh no, Control Z and Control Z. So now we're just dealing with this one, and we can straighten that one up. So just keep an eye out with that, and again, Control V to get another one back. So just keep an eye out with that to make sure that you get those right. So we now have a lovely brick wall. Anchor there. Boom. Okay. So now you might be thinking, that's a lovely brick wall, but it's a little bit messy over this side, and it's very messy over this side. And you would indeed be right. So what we're going to do is we're going to get the square, and we're going to go like that. Now, we're just going to do a little square, like up here, and then we're going to grab as I said earlier about the lefty-righty movie, I'm going to grab the bottom one there. So that way it doesn't matter what we do any other direction. And we know that that will always just follow that line down. And we can go right to the bottom and Control X. And that clears away with that lot. Isn't that marvellous? That was actually a bit of a mistake. So we'll undo that. And what we need to do is we need to come over to here. Hello, darling. Are you getting your phone? No. Right. Oh, diddle-doom. Thank you. Don't worry about that. And there we go. Sorry, that's much better. There we are. So now that looks like an amazing wall. Isn't that fantastic? And we're going to go over this side and we're going to do pretty much the same thing over here. And X that out. Okay. Missed them. X that out. Control X again. And that's that. And there we go. Select none. And there we go. Lovely brick wall. Isn't that amazing? So, next up, I think what we'll do, I'm quite happy with our brick wall. I don't think we need to do anything further with the actual brick wall. So what we're going to do is we're going to take the bricks, because these can now disappear. Or that can disappear, whichever you prefer. Oh, that's quite cool. Anyway, so we're going to merge bricks and house down into one. So again, right, we're going to right click this time on the top thing, and we're going to merge down. Okay, and that will then turn the bricks in the back all into one, basically. So now we have a total of 3 layers. We have the background, we have the grass, and we have the bricks. Ain't that marvellous? Okay, so let's think, what are we going to do next? I think this probably needs a door. So again, we're going to use a very similar sort of technique as before. Always try and create things on new layers. So that's right, we'll talk you through that again. So we're going to into this box over here. I'm going to right click and new layer and door. And always do things on new layers. And the main reason for doing that is because if you're happy with them and they're done, then that's fine. You can move them down, you know, anchor them down to other layers, or you can do things like that. But if you draw something and you're like, oh, I'm really happy with that, but it's in completely the wrong place. If it's on a separate layer of its own, it doesn't matter. You can move it wherever you want. That's why it's not really a huge problem that the house is floating, because we're going to move it where we want it in a bit. In fact, actually, we're going to rescale it as well. We're going to be doing all sorts in this video. It's going to be amazing. So, we're now doing a door. Door. So, I think probably doors are generally, from my understanding, they are kind of square, oblongy type things. That's a nice square, oblongy type thing. Right, okay, so, what are we going to do in here? Shall we try and fill it with a pattern, ladies and gents? Let's see what we've got. Oh, we even have a pine pattern. Oh, fill pattern. Let's have a play about with this. What do we have? Excuse me. We're going to use oak. Wood number 2. Wood #2. Door. Yeah, that looks amazing. So there we go. That's a door. And I'm totally happy with that. And I totally believe that's a door. So if we select none, yeah, people are just like, yeah, that's a door. That's totally a door. And now what we're going to do is absolutely chuffing terrible. Just get rid of that. And let's just find fill front. Oh, sorry, these bits here. We're just going to talk you through here. You've got FG colour and BG colour. Foreground colour. Front ground Muppets. Foreground colour, background colour. Fairly straightforward. So we're going to have a brownie brown colour. Yeah, brownie brown colour. More brown. There we go. I don't even know if that's brown. My eyes are messed up. That's not brown at all. Fuck it. There we go. Brown. Are we brown? Oh, I've changed the background colour now. Okay. If ever you get a bit flustered with these, you can just click that and it goes back to black and white. So what we're going to do is we're going to edit that one. We're going to go left click in the big square, and then we're going to find a brownie colour somewhere that's definitely brown. In fact, actually, fuck it. People have made colours. People are cleverer than me. They've made nice and interesting colours. So let's try and find a nice interesting colour for the door. Actually, why does it have to be brown? It could be painted. Yeah, we're going to have a blue door. We are going to have a blue door. There we go. That totally wouldn't upset the neighbours. So we now have a blue door. But you might be thinking, it's not a particularly good blue door, is it? It doesn't look like a door yet. Aha, but wait. So select none. And then we're going to grab this, and what we're going to do with this door is we're going to do more doory type things. We're going to, I think probably about there. Does that look about right? Maybe it's a bit big. Oh, it doesn't really matter. Okay. And now what we're going to do is we're going to pick a more different shade of that door. In fact, I think maybe a darker colour. Yeah, let's try darker. Yeah, definitely. I know what I'm doing now. So boom, we're going to go darker. Now what we're going to do is we are going to do some clever jiggery pokery, and we are going to go select shrink, and we're going to shrink this square, and what it will do is it will take this square here and it will shrink it by 1 pixel, and that should look amazing. Yeah, it does. And now what we're going to do is we are going to take that colour and we're going to stay stuck on that, and then we're going to go boop like that, and then there we go. And now that, if I select none, gives us that interesting, marvellous looking thing there. And again, what we're going to do is we're going to grab hold of just this section here. In fact, it doesn't really matter. And again, we're going to go X to get rid of that. We're going to grab the grabbery tool here with the left mouse button, and we're going to go V to get that back again, Control V, and Control V again. And we have, oh, Control Z, right, okay, Control Z, and grab the selector, and okay, let's actually make this a little smaller. Actually the size of what we're doing now. Control Z, Control Z, Control Z, keep hitting Control Z until you get back to where you want to be. Right, okay, so we're just going to make this the same size, because that was just causing too much kerfuffles. So Control X to get rid of that, and then we're going to grab our grabber tool again, Control V to bring it back, and Control V to give us another one, and there we go. You'll notice that's not going to work, is it? Because, oh no, we have an extra bit here. And you'll find that I end up doing this a lot with my pictures whenever you watch any of my things. I generally don't measure stuff first, and then when I come to try and do it, it looks terrible. So we're going to do this again, and I think we're going to leave a bigger gap here this time. Yeah, that'll look better, and then there we go. And don't worry about this. It all looks pretty tragic at the moment, but trust me, it will look passable. Right. Okay, so select, and okay, sorry, we need to anchor this layer now. So right click again up at the top here with the right click on the floating jobber and go anchor layer. And now what we're going to do is we're going to do a very similar thing to what we did before. Let's think, how much are we going to get rid of? I think probably that much. Okay, and we're going to X and V, and there we go. And if we bring that up in line, maybe one more. Feck it. Feck your bum. Right, okay, well, yeah, we'll do that again just to get rid of that. There's a totally fudged this up royally. Right, okay, anchor layer. Sometimes you just fuck up and you're just going to have to fix it the old-fashioned way. So we have a pencil. Do we? Oh, we're on the wrong colour. Right, okay, so now it's a good time to talk about this. So colour picker here, this little droplet thing. Anything you click, it will automatically change the palette to that colour. This thing here, it will change it to that. So now if we go to pencil, you'll see that miraculously we have this here. Isn't that good? And now we were using that one before, so we're going to use it again. And we're just going to fuck that up quite royally. We're going to fill this in here. Any illusions anyone had about me knowing what I was doing before I started this, before they started watching this, they're just going to be like, what the fuck? Oh, just cut it out. Right, Control Z. There we go. Get that back. Control Z. There we go. You see, you can fix anything really. You see, this is the joy. This is what I love about Gimp. You can just play around with it and create absolute pieces of utter dog crap. And then sometimes you kind of play around with it and you can create something that looks quite good. And we'll get rid of that. Control X, and away we go. And okay, select nothing. And there we go. We have a door. Sorry if I lost you at any point there. Sorry about that. it's fairly straightforward. All we've been doing is cutting and pasting as we were doing before, and when I fucked that up royally, I just decided to get the pencil out and just draw the damn thing the proper old-fashioned way. So now what we're going to do is we're going to give the door a handle, I guess. Right, okay, so boop, we're going to go here, and now what we're going to do, we're going to have a yellow handle, gold handle. So let's pick a nice shiny colour of gold. And we're not going to have a square handle. Oh, we are going to have a square handle, aren't we? Okay, what if we got to 2? Oh, dear. Oh, dear, Lady Marmalade. Okay, so it's going to have a weird... It's a special kind of door. I don't know. It's a medical door. A door for medicalingness. Anyway, so we now have that. We now have a door. And... are we happy with the door where it is? No, just for the sake of shits and giggles, I'm going to move the door over here. Yes, that's what we're going to do. Yes. Right. Now, I think what we're going to do... oh, another thing you'll notice when I did that, now this layer is off floating around here because I grabbed the layer as a whole rather than the individual item. The layer is now discombobulated with the rest of the picture, but that's not a problem because what we can do is, because that's selected there, if we right click on there, we can now go to layer to image size, and what that does is it changes this layer, this dotted layer, to the image size, which is that. So layer to image size, kaboop, and it's all lined up again, and then we can fuck about with it again and go, oh yeah, we'll have that over here, and then we can go layer to image size. And there we go, and that's all back in thing, but now the door's over here, and now the layer's all discombobulated again, and we'll do that. Let's zoom in and get this where it should be. About there. And zoom out, and again, layer to image size. Job's a good one. Next, windows. Now this is going to be a particularly unique house, because it's only going to have one window, and it's going to have a huge window, probably with Nicolas Cage's face in it. So, what we're going to do is we're just going to create a new layer, and this one's going to be called window. And now what we're going to do is we're going to do a square. How long's this been going? Fucking hell. Sorry, it's such a long time for creating such a shitty piece of art. Right, okay, so we're going to do this. There we go. And this is going to be a fucking immense windowsill. Fucking really big windowsill. The perspective's not what this could be, not what it could be in this piece, but I think generally it portrays a mood of optimism, a mood of hope, a feeling of childlike wonder, and just that feeling of doing artwork for artwork's sake, rather than, you know, to make it look like something. What colour are we going to do these window ledges? Oh, I don't know. Named colours, muted colours. Oh, it's a sad window ledge. See, I mean, some of these colours here, if you were to do a full pixel art colour game and just stick to some of these palettes, you can make some really interesting ones. Like, I really like some of these electric blue colours. They look really cool. Cold Fire's quite... it's okay. It's a bit gay. I quite like... is it Grey Violet? Yeah, I use Grey Violet a lot. I like that one a lot. But anyway, where was I? Muted. Muted? Was I doing muted? Here you go. Oh, we'll use that one. Oh, it's going to have a... yeah, there we go. And there we go. And we're going to copy that. And again, we're going to cut it and paste it. And paste it again. And give me another one. And there we go. Giant window. There we go. These are the tops of the window ledge thing. Okay, so we might be slightly concerned. Okay, we're just going to anchor that layer again. Right click, anchor layer. There we go. Now we might be slightly concerned that they're not level. So what we do have is we have some very interesting tools, such as... where's it gone? There it is, that one. Measure tool. Now this will tell you, if you click there and drag it down there, it will tell you if you're at full right angles and everything, and it will tell you exactly how many pixels. If you look down the bottom here, it will tell you how many pixels between point A and point B. Now you can use this for measuring up and doing other things like that. The only slight problem is, there we go, you have to be a little bit adept by holding it down with your left finger and then holding down control and scrolling as well at the same time to make sure you get it pixel perfect. But anyway, so that's that's a handy tool for making sure that things are potentially straight. But what we're going to do is just to make sure that these edges are straight and that we haven't totally kerfuffled that. I think I have, haven't I? Yeah, so that actually should. We have moved and whole pixel across, but that's not a problem. That's not a problem. It's something that can easily be fixed because these are on different layers. So we're going to go with a square there. We're just going to select that. We've got, I mean, if you look at that, we've got all the brickwork and everything in the background, but because we're just on the Windows layer, and we can go Control X to cut it out and Control V to bring it back, then grab the move tool and just boop it across 2, 3. There we go. And hopefully that should be back where it needs to be. And again, right click, anchor layer. Back to our protractor, or whatever. It's not protractor, it's a pair of compasses. There we go. If anyone ever says it's a compass, they're lying to you. They're a moron. It's not a compass. A compass is a piece of equipment for telling direction. That's a pair of compasses. So anyway, there we go. My old maths teacher will be proud. And there we go. So we know they're now straight, jobs and carrots. So let's think. I think a window. That's the lovely big windowsills. And now we're going to draw another square inside of here. Yeah. I get what you're doing there, Dan. I get what you're doing. It's starting to look really good. And I think a white UPVC. So we'll give it like a kind of a terrible white sheen. And we're going to colour that. Boom. Okay. And now what we're going to do is we're going to... What are we going to do? Are we going to shrink it? Yeah, I think we'll shrink that. And we'll shrink it down by about 4. 5, 4, 4. 4's good. Okay. And now what we're going to do is we're going to go Control X, and then that gets rid of that entirely. There we go. That's now gone. So we now have that lovely UPVC edging that's so pleasant. And select, and we're going to select none now. And there we go. And don't forget, all of this can be removed all in one go. And what we're going to do now is we're going to just grab this. And again, Control... Oh, you see, I'm just getting way ahead of myself here. There we go. We'll get it tidied up a little bit better. Control X and Control V. And we're going to grab the grabbery tool. There we go, the cross pointy direction tool. And we're going to bring... Oh, okay. I thought pasting it. Hello, Puskin. And do it again. And there we go. Control V. Whenever you hear the clicking, it's a Control X, Control V situation. And there we go. So we've got that there. And then I think what we will do, anchor that layer. Again, right click, anchor layer. And then we're going to do the same with this. Doop. And we're going to Control Xify, Control Vify, Control Vify again, and boom, lovely window. And you might be saying, "Oh no, but now I can see the brickwork. I don't like that. That's not very good at all." Don't panic. We will address that in a moment. Okay, anchor that layer down. Anchor the layer. Right. Okay. So now we need to do a roof. Core blimey, is taking fucking forever. Right. New layer. Roof. And a roof. Okay, so here, to save time here, I'm just going to do the most basic roof you have ever possibly seen. And again, we're going to use our beloved what's it tool, but we will get round to that now in a second. So, step 1. Okay, how tall do we want this roof? I reckon about yay tall-ish, something of that nature. Maybe a little lower. There we go. Jobs are good, excuse me. Right, and we want a pitch about that. There we go. And now we're just going to pick any old colour. Probably not a red because, you know, it's a bit close to the brickwork and I don't want to mess with my own eyes. And we're going to get the fill tool. We're going to get fill and we're going to fill him in. Now what we're going to do is we're going to get the drawery tool. going to get this. Don't forget, select none. Remember I was showing you earlier. We're going to get the old drawery tool, and we're going to go into here, and we're going to get that one there, which is the long line. Now, we're going to make that bigger. Now, to my memory, if we go to 7, 7's as big as it'll go, and only be 1 pixel. So we're going to do that. Now we're just going to do this marvellous hunky-dory. Isn't this wonderful? I think you'll find it is. And then what we're going to do, that's probably, is that good enough overhang? Is it too much? Too much overhang, I think. So we'll just get rid of some of that. Boop, boop. Yeah, job's a good one. Now we're going to get the pixely tool, and we are going to doop, 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 doop. Doop, 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 doop. Isn't this fun? Isn't this exciting? Isn't this fun? Isn't this exciting? Oh, would you Adam and Eve it? That's not far out, that. God, what a win. There we go. That looks like a roof, a black roof, but a roof nonetheless. Am I making the Hitler house? I'm just making the Hitler house. Right, okay, yeah, right, all right, so now what we're going to do, clever tool, right, we're going to Xify that to get rid of it, and we're going to Vify it back, right, and now we have it, and now we're going to Xify it again, oh no, sorry, fudge it, right, okay, put it back, back, right, and then we're going to V again, and now we're going to set this over here, over this side, and you might be all like, oh no, it's facing the wrong way, oh no, what are we going to do? And you'll notice there is a flip tool here, so what we're going to do is we're going to flip that, yep, there we go, and all I did there was just literally click the flip tool and go beep, and you can do that, and you can do that all day long, just flipping it left and right, and if you wanted you could flip it vertical, whoop, and you can do, and that's a very handy little tool to have. And then we're going to grab that there, and we're going to move that here, and about yay, a bit more maybe. There we go. That's probably okay, I think, for the purposes of this picture. Happy days. So we now have a house with a black roof and another thing going on there. Right. Okay. So. Next, let's think about what are we going to do. How are we going to do this roof? I really don't want to get too much into this, so I think what we will do is we will just pick a kind of a grey colour, and we will just draw. Is this single? No, 7 would be a mistake, I think. And we're just going to grab that circle there, set that back to 1, grab that, and grab that there, and then we're going to go. Click about there. How many is that down? 1. Alright, so 1 peak, 2 peaks, 3 peaks, 4 peaks. So it's a 5th peak down. 1 peak, 2 peak, 3 peak, 4 peak, 5 peaks down. And struck the path. And we're still with pencil. Boom! Should be a straight line. It is. Everyday winning. And now what we're going to do is we're going to grab this tool again. I don't know if we've used this yet. I think we might have done. But this grabs all the colours that match that. Now on this particular layer, the only thing that matches that colour is that one single stripe there. So again, we're going to do our magic friend. We're going to grab that, and we're going to Control X to get rid of it, and Control V to bring it back. And then we're going to Control V again, so then we have 2 of the blighters. And then we're going to move that one there. And we're going to Control V again, so we have another one of the blighters. I'm going to whack that about there. And then, do we need to do another one? Control V to there. There we go. If anyone's wondering how I'm moving about the actual image, if you have like your scrolly goes up and down. If you push it in, you get kind of this motion. This is all on you pushing your scroll wheel, you get that kind of motion. If you hold Control and use thingy, you zoom in and out. And if you press Alt, and nothing happens. So it's not Alt, is it Shift? Shift. Shift and scroll makes you go lefty righty. Regular scroll goes up and down. Shifty goes lefty righty, and Control goes zoomy zoomy. So, and I use that one, and pushing it in and just moving gets you full free reign. So, and again, we're going to Control, we're at Control Z, and boof that over here. Nobody's ever going to watch this. This is utter garbage. Utter garbage. Utter garbage. There we go. Lovely roof. Isn't it amazing? And we're going to anchor that layer. Anchor the layer. Anchor the layer, god damn it. Oh, create a chuffing new layer group. Okay. Anchor layer, and we're just going to get rid of this layer group because it was a mistake and abomination. And you can do that by delete it. If you just delete layer, that should get rid of layer group. Yeah, there we go. So there we go. Lovely Nazi house. And somebody might be thinking, oh, it's a little bit bare over here. Wouldn't it be good if we had another window? And that person would be absolutely right. So that's what we're going to do. So we go back down to the window layer. Boop, boop. And what we're going to do, this is going to be slightly different. We're going to treat the two windows differently in a second. We're going to take that and we're going to, again, select using the select tool, Control X to get rid of it. And it's gone. And then we're going to Control V so it comes back again. Hey, you do this a lot. And we're going to Control V again so we get another window. And we're going to bring another window over here. But you might be thinking, oh no, it's too big. But that's not a problem, because what we've got is we've got a scale tool. So this tool here enables us to scale things. Makes us bigger, makes them smaller. And then what we're going to do is you click, while it's selected like that, and we'll get into some more difficult stuff in a minute, alpha channels and the such. But while it's all selected like that, you click on the scale tool and it goes all clickery like that. And then what we're going to do is we can just treat it like anything else, and we can scale it to whatever size we want. Ooh. And we're going to make it little like that, probably about that big. And we're going to click scale, and there we go. We have a little window, and it's even done like a weird little anti-aliasing thing on it because it doesn't really get on with pixel art so well. And then we're going to move it where we want it, which is about there. And then we're going to anchor that layer down, and there we go. Now, as I said, it does get a little bit annoying sometimes with pixel art. When it's scaling stuff, it can generally try and anti-alias it, and I'm not entirely sure how to get rid of it. If you don't know how to do that, please message me. It would be most appreciated. So I think we're just going to have to fix this the old-fashioned way. We're going to get the line, there we go, and we're going to get it a little bit bigger, and a little bit bigger, and a little bit smaller. And there we are. And we're just going to colour that in. Oh, fuck it. Control Z again. Get rid of all of our mistakes. Wash away my failure. And then there we go. And we're happy at that. Then we're going to do the same along here. In fact, actually, I'm probably wasting time tidying this up, making it look a bit nicer than it needs to. But I don't care. Just take pride in your work, Dan. Pride in your work. Pride. This is what's always been your downfall. It's always been, oh, that's good enough, that's good enough. Always been a disappointment. You've always been a failure, Dan. Nobody cares. You should fucking just end it now. Anyway, so, and now we're going to, oh, the square is too big. The circle is too big. Square is about right. Oh, Square is about right. And we'll do the same here. Square is about right. Square. See, I could have actually probably just fucking drawn this quicker. Oh, dear God. Come on. And there we go. Right, and I'm sort of happy with that. Not at all. And now we're going to colour this in as well, because for some reason it decided to anti-alias the edge of that. Oh, fuck me. Right, away we go. Come on, come on, come on. There we go. Isn't this all amazing? So glad I watched this. This, by the way, I think I'm going to have to break this video up into multiple times. So if at some point the video just randomly stops, I haven't actually just finished myself off. In a non-master tripping way. I mean, I actually just killed myself. I will, the next video will be up shortly. I think what I might do. What am I doing now? I don't actually know what I'm doing now. What am I doing? Let's get rid of this fuzzy thing here. Control X. There we go. I think I'll probably put these videos out. I'll chop them up into bite-sized portions of misery, and then I'll put them out on different nights, because I think we're hitting an hour now, all in all, or if I'd done it all in one go. So I think I'll put them up in like sort of half-hour chunks of misery, or maybe a little bit less. Anyway, right, let's fill this in. Let's come on, let's crack on. Let's crack on, do it right now. Okay, so what colour is glass? Everybody knows glass is grey. So we're going to do some lovely grey. Oh, you see, I did it. I went to go fill those in, and that was still selected there. And that's a bad mistake. Fill. Oh, isn't that good? You see, this is the anti-aliasing issue. It's randomly decided that they're a different colour. Oh, fuck me. There is a quicker way of doing this, probably. Well, there is, definitely. But that's on the basis. There we go. Right, lovely window. So we have a big window, little window, roof, and a door. Now, okay, I'm sort of fairly happy with that. But what I think is, obviously, what are we going to do? Actually, come to think of it. Yeah, I think this is how we're going to do it. I think this is how we're going to do it, definitely. And we're going to fill those in as well with the same colour. So everyone's happy. Right, okay. So, now what we're going to do is we're going to move this house, and we're going to put it here in the middle of our picture. So what we're going to do is we're going to select the house layer, and we could actually make a group for all of these, and then just move the whole group in one go. I think possibly, but I'm not too certain on that. So we're just literally going to do it all in one go, and we're just going to move the bricks, and I think the bricks about there-ish. Yeah. There we go. I think about there. Something like that. Yeah, in the middle. Definitely in the middle. There we go. Nobody would have any complaints about that. Okay, layer to image size. And then we're going to do the same thing with the door. You come over here, you cheeky little bastard. In fact, actually, I probably could have just merged all that lot down, couldn't I? Thinking about it. Yeah, because I wasn't... Alright, so actually, we'll just do that. Right, okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to merge down. I'm clicking right here, and then going merge down. Clicking on the door and going right, merge down. So now the house is one house, and we're just going to move the whole bastard lot in one go, like that. Boop. That looks amazing. Okie dokie, picking a pokey. Layer to image size. There we go. Boom. Okie dokie, picking a pokey. Now, what says England more than anything? Anything at all? You might be thinking, oh, cups of tea, or perhaps maybe you were thinking of bad teeth. Or who knows? I don't know what you think of England. I don't know you. But definitely sun. Sun definitely springs to mind. Everyone thinks, oh, England, it's so sunny and lovely with your green hills and your tropical weather. So we're going to do a sun. So we're going to do a sunrise, a groovy, amazing sunrise that people will be like, wow, how the fuck did you do that? You're amazing. So create a new layer. And this one's going to be called Sun. And there we go. And what we're going to do, I'm just going to totally mash with your heads now. Yeah, I am. Right, okay. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to grab first this thing. Just click that. And what colour is the sun? Sun's yellow, definitely. Right, and what colour is the sunrise? It's kind of a reddy colour. So we're going to go bang. So we have the two colours, reddy, yellow, reddy, yellow. You see that? Two colours. Okie dokie. Now what we're going to do is we're going to grab this tool here, which is called the blend tool. And it doesn't actually blend stuff. It does something slightly different. Okay, and I'll show you. So what we're going to do is we're going to do the drop down box. And we have a thing here called radial. Okay, and I'm not going to tell you, I'm not going to spoil the surprise. It's just going to be a surprise. What we're doing is we're going from foreground to background, which is the wrong way. So we can change that. Foreground to background, so to yellow to there. And now what we're going to do is on the picture, I think the sun needs to be just behind the house. And then we're going to click the center button. And not the center button at all. We're going to click the left button. Don't do it yet. Don't do it yet. And you'll spoil the surprise. So you're going to click the left button. And then you're going to drag to around about here. And then you're going to let go. And if you have a half decent PC, it will do it in one go. If you have a piece of shit, it'll actually have to think about it. Are you ready? 3, 2, 1, boom. Yeah, fucking amazing. I think probably we need to be a little bit bigger on mine. There we go. Maybe a little bit higher. Boom. Yeah, okay. So we now have a sunrise, which looks amazing. Will you be like, that don't look like a sunrise? It's just saying, well, how about if we put it behind the house? So what we're going to do is we're going to left click on sun, drag it below house, and then boom. Oh, the house. Maybe that isn't quite right. And then now what we're going to do is we're going to drag it behind the grass, and boom, there we go. Sunrise. Sunrise behind the house. Isn't that amazing? It's just like England. Okay. So now we've done that, I think we need to put somebody in the house. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to Google. And we're going to Googly search for Nicolas Cage. Oh, it's Nicolas Cage. Crazy face. Okay, we're going to search for Nicolas Cage. That's the face. And we're going to go to images. And what we're going to do, I think, probably that one's going to be the better one. How big is that? Oh, it's bigger than our canvas. Oh, they're all bigger than our canvas. Oh, well, never mind. That's probably the littlest one. That's a good one. Oh, that's quite a cool one. I like that one. Anyway, we're going to use the famous one. And now what we're going to do is we're going to save image. You can do this. Follow along by all means. So we're going to save image as. And then we're going to go. And I'm going to just save this to my desktop because we all need pictures of Nicolas Cage on our desktop. So we're going to save that onto my desktop. And there we go. And that'll do that. Thank you very much, whoever you were. And now we're going to go back into Gimp. And now what we're going to do is we're going to open as layer. Open as layer. And I'm going to go to my desktop. And we'll find Nicolas Cage is there. There he is. Open as layer. Wow. Unfortunately, Nicolas Cage is the sunrise. Nicolas Cage is the sunrise. As Nicolas Cage rises from morning has broken like the first one. Anyway, so Nicolas Cage, I think what we need to do is we need to hide some of these other things. Okay, now we're going to just we're going to do some playing around with cutting out Nicolas Cage's face. Yes, we are, because we can. And what we're going to use is we're going to use this lasso tool. And first of all, what I think we'll do is we'll just get rid of the big bits just to make life a little bit easier. And actually, I'll get rid of all that lot. And there we go. And now, okay, back to the beginning. Thank you. And X and okay, right. Hide you again. I'm just right. Okay. So give me the goddamn pencil. There we go. Right. Okay. Right. Try that again. We'll get rid of the big bits. Make sure to do a very good loop because it tends to spaz out otherwise. And there we go. So go back to it so you get the little round circly thing, and then we're just going to Xify that, and that's that gone. And we're going to do the same thing on this side. And Xify that. And there we go. Now what we're going to do is we're going to grab the erase tool. And I think we need to be a little bit bigger. Yeah, we do. And we're just going to zoom in. And we're going to kind of... Oh, God, right. Okay, select none. Thank you very much. There we go. Same mistake as per chuffing normal. Oh, we have a horrible border. Oh, well, never mind. I'm not grabbing that. In fact, actually, could we just... he's got a white shirt, hasn't he? Oh, that's a bummer. I was going to try and use the clever tool to get rid of it, but what it'll probably do is it will just end up grabbing his shirt. So we're just going to erase it by hand. I mean, this is going to end up being quite small anyway. And, you know, don't be too afraid of Nicolas Cage's face. There we go, we'll get rid of this, and we can get rid of that. Make sure you try and follow the contour of his face. Stroke his face ever so gently. Ah, love you, Nicolas Cage. And there we go. I think we're going to need to get a little bit smaller to try and get that bit there. And there we go. Oh, one little pooky bit there. All right, okay. And we can go much more bigger again. And we can try and get rid of some of this stuff here. And you can see, because we're working on layers, we don't have any problems with destroying the lovely sunrise. Only Nicolas Cage's background. So there we go. We've sort of squared his head off a little bit. That will look a little bit ropey. And there we go. And we're just going to get right the way down here into the Nicolas Cage's crevice. And right the way around there. And there we go. And that's Nicolas Cage. It's Nicolas Cage. Here we go. Right. Okay. So I'm perfectly happy with that. Now what we need to do is we need to see how big is he compared to our window. He's a lot bigger than our window. So that's okay though. That's not a problem. We're just going to scale him as we did last time. And we're going to click Nicolas Cage. And then we're going to shrink Nicolas Cage. Try to keep him. Oh, he needs to be a lot smaller. Let's try that size, Nicolas Cage. Okay, and scale that. Oh, tiny Cage. Tiny Nicolas Cage. Is he? Oh, no, of course he's below the house. Of course, the house is on the top, so we need to move Nicolas Cage up a bit so we can see him. And oh, look at that. Nicolas Cage now fills the entire window. Oh, look, because he's so small. What's 100%? There we go. That's so you'll be able to work out it's Nicolas Cage. It's only when we zoom right in that it becomes pixelated. Totally. Right, okay. So, how are we doing? All right, okay. Actually, bloody hell. Look at that first time. He fits that window like a glove. So I think what we will do... Oh, for some reason it's now okay, right. Okay, so here's what we're gonna do. Change of do for a plan. Oh, we're at this now. We are winning this now. I know what we're gonna do. Okay, so we're gonna go to the house. Okay, now as you can tell, let's have a look. We have this window is like that. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna grab that tool, which is called fuzz select. Okay, and we're going to click there, and that will select that. Now what we're going to do is we're going to hold down shift, and there we go. Click that one, and then we're going to do the same there, and we're going to do the same there, and there we go. And then we're going to press Control and X, and that has then deleted that section out. Okay, so now if we select none, now what you'll see is that, oh, fuck it, select none. Right, now if we grab the move tool, you'll see that the house is now see-through, but Nicolas Cage is still on top. It's not good. It's not good. I've now moved it probably not where I want it. I want it about there, don't I? Yeah, that's perfect. That looks amazing. But now, oh my god, we can see right the way through. Oh my god. So what we do is we move Nicolas Cage down below the house, and then we can just grab Nicolas Cage, and he disappears, and then people, Nicolas Cage is in the window. He is slightly too small though, which is a bit annoying. So what we will do, I think, for that one, then we'll just scale him up a little bit, just so that he's not quite so, you know, we might have to change the background as well. So yeah, we'll scale him up a tiny, tiny bit, just make him a little bit bigger. A little bit bigger, Nicolas Cage. A little bit bigger. There we go. Scale him to that. There we go. Now he just fits now. In fact, now we're missing his beautiful eyes. We want his eyes. Oh, that's quite creepy. Hi, Nicholas. I think I've had a brainwave. No, I can't do that. Anyway, so we'll just do, yeah, that's fine. We'll have Nicolas Cage looking like that. That's okay, not a problem. And I think what we will do is we will just create a new layer. Again, we're definitely fudging this because I'm running out of time. And that's going to be called that. and that's going to be behind Nicolas Cage and behind the house. And we're just going to go whoop, like that. I'm going to get the select tool and we're going to fill that in black. Okay, it's Nicolas Cage is behind it. There we go. And now what we're going to... No, not black, actually. It needs to be green. There's no green where Nicolas Cage is. You see, I don't want anything... We'll go blue, actually. Blue. It needs to be blue. There we go. So, back to that, and we'll colour that in blue. And now what we're going to do is we're going to go to Nicolas Cage, and we're going to colour the background in blue. Will that work? If we go to fill similar colour... Boom, there we go, that's fine. Nicolas Cage now has a red satanic halo, and if we select grass, there we go, select, none, and there we go. The house now has Nicolas Cage behind the window. He is a bit, okay, let's try and clean up his horrific halo. That's, that's obviously a sign of doctoring. Oh, I'm on the wrong thing, there we go. Nicolas Cage level, there we go. I'm on the wrong thing, there we go. That's always a sign. You can always tell that something's been doctored when it has a halo. Whereas now it will look legitimately like Nicolas Cage was round at my house and I took a photo of him looking through the window doing his famous stare. People will be like, oh yeah, that's legit, that's fine. Okay, so now we have a sunrise. We have a beautiful sunrise. We have we have a house with bricks, and we also have hills. So now what we're going to do is we're going to put a title across this, and that title is going to be epic. So if we go to the A here, and what we're going to do is you drag another whacking great box. I generally find you want to drag a box as big as you can, because if you think, oh well, I'm only going to write up here, that's fine, that's okay, but it's always best to have more space so that you can move it around within. Then not enough space, and then I have to start mucking about with it later on. So then what we do is we just literally draw. We just click in there. If we zoom in, you can see, if we just click in there and then start writing, we'll get some writing. So we're going to write this. Nicolas. Oh, I've forgotten how was his name spelled? It was spelled different. Nico. Right, okay. Nicolas Cage at my house. There we go. Nicolas Cage at my house. Alright. Fucking what am I doing? Right. Okay, so we're going to select all of that. And then we're going to change the font. And you can do that over here. We're not going to use Sans font because I don't want to. We're going to use Homer Bold. Of course we are. And then what we're going to do is we're going to make it massive so people can see. You see Nicolas Cage at my house. And we're going to make that really big. Nicolas Cage at my house. There we go. Look, you see, and now I have an idea of what the picture's going to look like. Isn't that amazing? So we've done this and we've done it in blue, but I'm not sure about the blue. I'm fairly sure about the blue, but I think actually what I'm going to do is I'm going to do some interesting things with this. So what we're going to do is we are going to click on here on the writing, and we're going to with the right button, and we are going to go alpha to select. Bang. And you can see that now writes round Nicolas Cage at my house. It writes round the outside. And again, we're going to do that shrink tool that we did earlier on. We're going to go down and we're going to do shrink. And we're only going to shrink it by 1. Okay? 1. Okay. And that then makes it smaller. And then what we're going to do, great idea. We are going to get the colour bucket. Colour bucket that you would use on other things. Now might be a time for wood grain, actually. I think it might be time for wood grain. And you got fill whole selection here. If you click that there, fill whole selection. Now what's selected is the alpha for Nicolas Cage at my house. And if we click that... Oh, why has that not worked? Oh, it's because it's on there. Sorry. Fill pattern. There we go. Boom. Wood grain, Nicolas Cage at my house. You see that? Wood grain, Nicolas Cage at my house. But anyway, we're not going to do that. That does not look good. So we're going to fill it with the front ground colour. And what colour are we going to use? Well, yeah, we are black. Black. Alright, we're going to use black and fill hole selection. Not similar colour. There we go. Nicolas Cage at my house. Okay, now, we might think, maybe that looks good. I'm quite happy with the Nicolas Cage at my house thing. But wouldn't it be cool if it looked a bit metallic-y? Yeah, it would look a little bit better if it was a bit metallic-y. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to the spray tool, which is this thing here, airbrush tool. That's what it's called. And we're going to select the airbrush tool. Don't unselect the alpha. If you've done that, you've fucked up. But just Control Z and go back and back and back, right? Okay, so, and now what we're going to do is we're going to get like a kind of shimmery tone. And what we're going to do is we're just going to, first of all, we're just going to try it and see, make sure it looks all right. Why does that not look good? Why am I not seeing any difference? What's going on there? Why is that not working? Okay, that's odd. We should be able to... Oh, we are, but it's just tiny, that's why. Okay. There we go. Right, okay. So, that's why. So, we need to make it much more bigger. There we go. So now, oh yes, there we go. That's definitely working. Turn the flow rate down a little bit. The rate down a little bit, but the flow up a little bit. Whack. Oh yes. Okay. Make that. I think we need to make it a little bit smaller. And then what we're going to do is we're going to use this tool here. That we used again, the stroke path. That way we make sure we get a straight line. And then we're going to go from here. I think from here. No, tell a lie. We're going to go from about here to about here. Stroke path. And what we're going to use, we've already set up the airbrush. Stroke, bang. Wicked. And then we're going to do the same thing over here. Stroke path, bang. Look at that. Look at that class. That is class in a glass. Stroke path, bang. There we go. Look at that. It's shining. Shimmers in the light. Nicolas Cage in my house. Stroke path, bang. Look at that. Already that is looking classy. Look, you can see down at the bottom down here, that is starting to really, really look like a piece of artwork. Oh, I've fucked it up. Pencil. There we go. I think we need a Nicolas Cage. We need a strike across there. Definitely. Stroke path. Bang. Nicolas Cage at my house. And then I think... I'm arguing with it now. You'll argue with Gimp. I argue with Gimp all the time. We have a very volatile relationship. Why have we got to? Okay, right. Fine. See if I get right. Bang. And again, we're just doing this as we've done before. Bang. Nicolas Cage at my house. And then we're going to grab that top one and we're going to go like that. Bang. Stroke the path, yeah. Stroke that path, Nicolas Cage at my house. And then stroke the path. There we go. There we go. Stroke the path. There we go. Not many to do now. You get the idea. I think this one, we'll just grab both of them, stroke that. There we go. You might, obviously you might want to take a bit more time to do Nicolas Cage at my house. Here we go. Make it just look a little bit more. Ooh, we don't want a wobbly line. It's supposed to be the light arcing across chrome. Not, not bendy. Stroke the path. Bang! There we go. That, alright, and now what we do is we go bang and select none. And there we go. Nicolas Cage at my house. Actually, I think we might have to do the E as well. So yeah, we will do that. Okay, so Z, so we Control Z, that just takes you back a step. So we've now got the alpha selected again, and we can go bang like that, stroke that path, and bang, Nicolas Cage at my house. And there we go. I'll be honest with you. I think that looks amazing. Nicolas Cage at my house. I'm just going to keep saying that. I don't know why. Okay, so you've made your wonderful piece of art. So now it's time to export that. And that's what we'll do here. So we're going to create a final image. So export as, and we're going to call it Nick. Yeah, I'm just going to shorten it to Nick because we're close now. Nick at, because we're tech my house. There we go, Nick at my house. And I think we will definitely store that. While we store that, I think we'll just put it on my desktop for now, just so I know where it is. Nick next to the original. There we go, Nicholas. What we need, you see, it's a PNG. We don't want that. What we want is we want it to go down and go to JPEG, which is just a regular kind of imagey type thing. Export, and then it asks you for some reason if you want to be at 90% quality. I don't know why you would. Top quality. There we go, and export. And that will create that image there. If you wanted to, what you can do is you can hide bits like that, and then you can literally just, when you do the export, fucking saved it. You can go export as, and I believe you can just export visible layers. Export. There we go. Export all images. All right. So yeah, it will just export the visible layers, as far as I'm aware. Let's just double check that. No. House. Okay, export. Advanced options. So you can do things cool here. I can't remember where the export visible layer is. I think actually what you would do, it will only ever normally export the visible layers. So what you would do if you wanted to say just export the house, for whatever reason, you know, with that on a white background, it would then just export that. If you then put the sun behind it, it would export that, and then the trees, and then Nicolas Cage at my house. So there we go, ladies and gentlemen. Where is it? Nicolas Cage at my house. Boom. Oh no! I know what I've done. I've overridden proper Nicolas Cage at my house. Hang on. Oh, faptard. Right, okay, let's go back to Nicolas Cage at my house. Export. Export as Nicolas Cage at my house. We've got all of the layers going. It's a JPEG. Export. 100% quality. Export. Boom. There we go. Nicolas Cage at my house. Thank you very much for watching. Yep, I will break that up into lots and lots of little things, probably a couple of minutes long. I hope you know, like I say, it's not an art thing, but it was just a way to show you different tools and different sort of approaches for doing certain things, how to hide things behind layers, and like different workflows that I do. Obviously, I spend more time over it and I actually have some sort of idea of what I'm drawing or something decent, you know, rather than just this. But like I say, we've got everything. I've shown you how to import as layers. I've shown you what an alpha channel is, how to then, you know, just interact with an alpha channel, how to do shrinking, how to bend lines, how to cut, paste, how to use the blend tool and things like that. Just it is just a fun way of sort of getting you used to the interface. And you know, like I said, that's all it was really designed for. If you do want to get good at art, don't ask me. Nicolas Cage at my house. Thank you. Bye bye. Cheerio now. See you later, guys.